Students that participated in today's YMCA Youth Institute training put on goggles that simulate cataracts, noise-canceling headphones, and cotton gloves that affect the way you use technology, all to help train people how to better use technology. Hey, Jack, I'm here live at Main Street Square, the parking garage next to at the corner of 5th and Main. As you can see, the roads are starting to get bad. The snow is starting to pack down on them. But this morning, the roads may have been bad for a different reason. More than 100,000 people. The White House says that's the number of people who have lost their lives to gun violence in the United States over the past decade. In his address today, President Barack Obama announced executive actions to do what he feels will help reduce gun violence. Members of the Rapid City community got a running start into 2016. Black Hills Fox reporter Heather Jansen takes you to Cannon Lake Park for the Resolution 5K. The people believed to be responsible for the crime are facing charges in Pennington County. We'll hear more from Trooper Bader's family tomorrow night on Black Hills Fox News at 9. And of course, we continue to send thoughts and good wishes to him and his family while the road to recovery continues. Julie? The street is lined with people. Although some people are cheating, they're sitting in their car, but that's okay. We can't blame them. It's a little cold out here. Joining us now is Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. Thanks so much for joining us. Only 10 hours into 2016, nearly 50 hikers, along with a few dogs, kept one of Custer State Park's traditions alive. For the last 4 years now, Custer State Park has hosted a first-day hike, helping those looking to start the new year off on the right foot. Artistic talent and diversity is being celebrated down here at the Doll while raising money, all with a little bit of mystery. I'll show you how after the break. Schools in different states have banned Christmas trees, traditional songs, nativity scenes, and more. Even the word Christmas has struck up controversy in towns across the country. But here in Rapid City, churches are doing what they can to keep the reason for the season alive. Hey, Jack and Julie, the American Red Cross is getting ready to do their part in helping to make this community a little bit safer. Thanks, Jack. It's an absolutely packed house down here at the Susie Kappa Center. Community members have come out in full force to see the beautiful artwork, but also to meet the beautiful artists. I'm Jacqueline Seymour, and Black Hills Fox News will be bringing you in-depth coverage during the 75th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. So be sure to join us every day for live updates on the 6th and Black Hills Fox News at 9.
Live rally coverage.
Around 8:20 last night, Rapid City police officers were dispatched to a reported assault. Upon arrival at 20 Signal Drive, officers determined that it was a domestic violence assault.
Domestic violence incidents are often high-risk situations for officers to intervene on behalf of victims. And this case highlights the risks that are involved.
Police Chief Carl Jegeris says both the suspect and the victim were inside the residence when police arrived on scene.
The other cops started knocking on the door saying, "Patrick, open the door, open the door. I'm going to kick the door in. You need to open the door right now, Patrick." And he looked like he's about to kick the door in, and he had his hand ready, holding on to his gun.
Chief Jegeris says the police identified themselves several times before making a forcible entry into the home. Officer Matt McCrander was the first officer to enter the residence and was confronted by Patrick Stephen Ludstrom. Ludstrom reportedly lunged at McCrander with what appeared to be a metallic bar raised over his head. McCrander then fired his weapon at Ludstrom.
Being involved in an officer-involved shooting is not something that any officer wakes up and goes to work and expects to confront that day. But we do know that we are here to take risks on behalf of victims and public safety. So this is a part of our duty. It is what the public expects of us, and it is what I expect of our officers.
Officers administered first aid until medics could arrive, but Ludstrom was declared dead on scene. Jegeris says Ludstrom had an extensive criminal history, including a previous assault with the same female victim, which Jegeris says is not uncommon.
Last year, our officers responded to over 800 incidents of domestic violence here in Rapid City. In this situation last night, the victim had just been assaulted and was still inside of a locked house with the suspect that had assaulted her. The suspect continued to pose a real and dangerous threat to that victim. Immediate intervention was necessary, and I am very thankful that our officers were able to intervene without injury to our officers.
The South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation is now investigating the shooting. For Black Hills Fox, I'm Jacqueline Seymour. October 24th is a day Trooper Zach Bader and his family will never forget. But November 6th will go down in the books, not only for Bader and his family, but for the entire community.
He's already seen the support. What Rapid has done for him, all the surrounding police force has been phenomenal. You look at all the bad that has happened, but then you see all the good that happens, and it's unbelievable. We can't thank everybody. It's just crazy how busy and how so many people have come to support.
Wall-to-wall family, friends, and fellow law enforcement officers filled the lobby of Rapid City Regional Hospital, anxiously awaiting Bader's release.
It's unbelievable. I'm so excited. I didn't think this day would ever come, and it's taken a few weeks, but we've got him, and he's heading home, and we're more than excited.
Bader's lifelong friend, Andrew Webster, says it was a scary day when they found out what happened, but says the way he progressed so fast just proves the fight in Bader.
He's always been very relentless, has a good heart about everything ever since I've known him, since I was a little kid. So.
Bader's family says his spirits were high throughout his entire hospital stay. But last night, his emotions were soaring as he put his hand over his heart, hugged and waved to those who came to see him go home.
He's doing good. He's got a long ways to go, but he's a fighter, and he's done really, really well. He wants to be home with his wife and girls.
And Bader's family would like to thank the entire community for being by their side during this difficult time.
It's just crazy the support we have around here. We're so lucky to live in South Dakota.
The 4 people believed to be responsible are facing charges in Pennington County. In Rapid City, Jacqueline Seymour, Black Hills Fox News.
More than 100,000 people. The White House says that's the number of people who have lost their lives to gun violence in the United States over the past decade. In his address today, President Barack Obama announced executive actions to do what he feels will help reduce gun violence.
Anybody in the business of selling firearms must get a license and conduct background checks or be subject to criminal prosecutions. We're going to do everything we can to ensure the smart and effective enforcement of gun safety laws that are already on the books, which means we're going to add 200 more ATF agents and investigators. We're going to require firearms dealers to report more lost or stolen guns. We're going to do more to help those suffering from mental illness get the help that they need.
President Obama's calls to action, which he did through executive action today, bypassing Congress.
I don't think that the president ought to be trying to make any kind of laws. I believe that's for the Congress to do. And I'm also against his ideas of more gun control.
And Ackerson is not alone. First Stop Gun Shop owner Mark Blody says background checks are already required for gun stores, making the tighter regulations Obama called for today more for private sellers.
Regulating private transactions at gun shows wouldn't have had any effect on any of the shootings that we've had, and so I don't think that there's any reason for it. I think if we just enforce the laws that we have already, that we're going to be a lot better off.
At the end of the day, some locals say Obama's actions aren't necessary.
Most folks in South Dakota are very pro-gun and common sense, and we realize that guns don't go out and shoot people on their own. It's criminals that do this kind of thing. And unfortunately, no matter what laws that you pass, there will always be criminals doing criminal behavior.
I don't think it's going to be helpful. I don't think that any of the recent violence that has occurred would have been affected at all by these proposed things he wants to force on us.
Obama did say in his speech that this is not his way of trying to take guns away from people, but he says we are the only country that sees this kind of mass violence, and that something needs to be done.
And now we don't have him, you know. We don't, he's not here in person, but he's here with us in spirit.
April and Billy Joe are sisters of Terry Brown, who was killed by a drunk driver 4 years ago today on Milwaukee Street in Rapid City.
Him and his friend were walking by the tracks right there. His friend got out of the way, was able to, but Terry had a gimp leg. He couldn't run as fast, and the drunk driver swerved to miss his friend and ran over my brother and killed him.
Both April and Billy Joe say they have attended MAD's Candlelight Vigil every year since the incident.
Without MAD, I don't know what we would have did sometimes.
The sisters say Terry was more than just an uncle to their kids, but also a role model.
And he taught any knowledge that he had in his life, he taught to our kids.
The duo says that with alcohol-impaired crashes that result in death, there is no closure, and they say something needs to be done.
I don't want to see another family suffer and hurt the way we do.
Which is, in part, what tonight's event was for, to raise awareness.
It's holiday time, a lot of drunk driving on the roads, and so we need to do everything we can to keep people safe.
That's why we're here, and we'll always be here with MAD, you know, not just because of Terry, but for everybody else that were their voice.
Somebody.
Were their voice now. If it wasn't my brother, it would have been somebody else's brother, somebody else's sister. And I understand that, really, I do. But it hurts.
Tonight's vigil also was an opportunity to show local law enforcement agencies appreciation and served as a red ribbon kickoff event. Dowd encourages people to tie a red ribbon on their cars in a visible spot to help bring awareness to drinking and driving. Jacqueline Seymour, Black Hills Fox News.
1 in 292 million. Did you play those odds? Because the Powerball says that's your chances of winning $1.5 billion. And one local couple left their odds up to good fortune.
We are buying our South Dakota Powerball tickets with our lucky numbers from our Chinese lunch today.
An unintentional lunch date they hope will go from broccoli and beef to billions.
It wasn't a plan. We just ended up going out for lunch and decided we're going to use these numbers for our Powerball numbers.
And purchasing the tickets at the Loaf and Jug on Mount Rushmore Road was a no-brainer, given their special connection to the store.
My husband bought me a scratch card here about 3 years ago for Christmas, and I scratched it 2 days later on our anniversary and won top prize.
Blaylock says if the luck of the store continues, the money they won would be spread throughout the community.
Pay off all of our bills, put away money for the kids' education, and give it to charity.
What kind of charities do you work?
Local charities to help kids in our neighborhood who need help.
And the Blaylocks were not alone. Fred Tully from Hill City says if he is the big winner, he would only keep a small portion of the big sum.
I don't need a real lot for myself. What I have is plenty, but that's, it's for kids, grandkids, and scholarship kind of things. Good for the church, for the community, all those things that you could do great things with.
But no matter the outcome, he says he wishes the lottery was played differently.
It's such a large amount. It would be so much better to have smaller amounts for more people to have. For someone to win $10,000, $100,000, that would be a huge gift. The idea of $1 billion is just not fathomable.
If no one hits the big numbers tonight, the jackpot will continue to swell. But just because you're not the big winner doesn't mean you don't have a winning ticket. You can check all the possible winning combinations at Powerball.com. And good luck to everyone who played. And Julie, Steve, I did get a sneak peek at the numbers, and I did not have a winning ticket, so I hope one of those people at the store today did. Back to you.
Small Business Saturday is really an opportunity for us to showcase what we provide for the customers, but in addition, it's also an opportunity for us to say thank you.
Rapid City Mayor Steve Allender proclaimed today as Small Business Saturday to join the nationwide effort to steer shoppers towards locally owned businesses this holiday season. And Rapid City business owners say it's important to keep business in the community.
When people shop locally, the money stays local. We give back to charities and organizations that come in and ask for fundraisers throughout the year. You're not going to find that from companies online or a lot of big box stores.
Shop Small Saturday wasn't just for the local stores here in Rapid City, but for shoppers who say they were able to find items that they weren't able to find in larger stores.
I think that small businesses have more unique gifts for friends and family. You don't have old toys anymore, and I've been looking for this toy for a long time, and I found it here today.
Belinda Yerlacher came from Custer today just to participate in Small Business Saturday.
It's just so much fun to shop local and help support the community.
And business owners say today was an opportunity to provide some of the best prices they can for their loyal customers.
It's fun to go into the smaller stores and find a little bit of a discount like the big chains can do all the time.
And Lockhart says the timing is perfect.
I think it's great that it's right after Black Friday. It gives people a chance to hit their big box stores, get the things that they need, but then they can come to the small businesses and get the things that they can't find.
But owners say it's about more than just money.
I think it gives an opportunity to have a place where you can come, where you are known by your name. It gives you an opportunity to build those relationships with families, children, adults, and it's an enjoyable atmosphere.
For Black Hills Fox, I'm Jacqueline Seymour.